Oh, please. Are we on? Hello, and thank you once again for joining us here on Baltimore's Real Talk, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Tonight, we will be talking about Baltimore's drug life. From the young and the older, and to what they're doing right now, the life they're living now. Yeah, and how we feel about all that bad stuff in our city. You know what I mean? How we felt about that. And also, women who have also dealt with, hustlers. They call out thugs. You know how we like our thugs. We have our guest, and Andre Ward once again. Little Andre once again. And Sherman once again. And me. And me. We have Jessica here as our audience, and wow, we ain't gonna tell you how our night begins, so we do apologize for the delay. Always hanging there with me. Hanging there with me. I'm really trying to be on time, but just ask my mother. I'm never on time for anything, and it's probably her fault. She's never on time for anything. So I once again, I do apologize. We try, but we are here in Baltimore, and we had 3 hustlers. No,
right?
Hustlers. And then we have Andre at our and Sherman actually at a older. They're older now, but their younger days of doing what they did. And we have Dre, as of today, who can probably surprise us and tell us some things. It was a great show. Should we let Dre start first?
Yeah. No. That's all we need to know. We going out, man. Going out. That's what's going on. Really going
on. Andre, you want to start us off with this? Or should I make Sherman start us off? Let's make Sherman start us off with this. Sherman, tell us a little bit about your life in that your world, in that kind of life.
In that life, my kind of world was I needed more money. I always wanted more. I never got high. I was just a supplier. Mm-hmm. And I wanted more. I always wanted more money. It was the fast money. I needed the fast money. I ain't had time to look for a job. I grew up watching everybody else, watching my uncles hustle and my brothers, and I'm like, okay, they can do it, I can do it. Mm. And I did it. I had a little stretch until it caught up with me, because everything you do always catch up with you. And it laid me down. First time I got caught, went to jail. They laid me down for 8 years.
Wow.
8 years.
What was your first time like doing it? Can you remember back to that? Your very first.
Back then, all I
rock you saw.
Well, I guess it was like nowadays, wanting the shoes and the jewelry and the cars. Mm-hmm. I was too young to drive back then, but it was just the shoes, the clothes. Mm-hmm. Wanted that life, that look that everybody had that I didn't have. I wanted that look, so I went out there. I started off small, running. Next thing you know, I graduated to have my own. I wanted to have somebody running for me.
Wow.
I got tired of being a runner. I wanted somebody to run for me.
So it's like a real business.
Yeah, it's a real business. The drug game is most definitely a business.
Wow. Ran that, just y'all already little entrepreneurs. Just got your own little thing set up. Yeah. Wow. And your life is different now. How different is it now? And what made you see things a little bit different besides that bit?
That bit is what made me see things different. Then when you get locked up, all the friends you thought you had, you don't have.
Wow.
All the ones that you was out there trying to impress, they not around no more. Mm. Yeah. They ain't sending you nothing over there. They ain't come to see you while you're away. So you back to grinding again. You got to grind this time to get out.
Oh.
So when I made a promise to myself, at that time I had my first child, and I wanted to be out there for my child. And I made a promise to myself when I got out of it that was it.
But was it really it that time? You know, we always make those promises. We'll say, oh, you know, this is it. You know, we'll never do this again. This is the last time. And then, wow, we'll do it again.
It was it for me. It was it for me because I got out. I had my money put up and whatnot because I always save my money.
Get this up there for you.
Thank you so much, sir. They're telling me things. Just help me. The audience understand. Just help me. Just if something's on my eye, get it off. Don't make me walk around looking crazy. I'm sorry for cutting you off, sir. Didn't mean it, but they pointing at me. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Like, what? Is it bigger or something? What? You know, so just let me know what's on me. Come on. Back on to the conversation.
No, I saved my money, and I put it up. And when I got out, you know, I had something I could fall back on when I got out. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I took that and invested in trying to do what I had to do to be out here and open my own business. And been out here ever since. Came home in '95, been out ever since.
Yay! You know, congrats.
So
that's
where
great.
are you now?
Well, I have a shop on Charles Street, a barber shop on Charles Street.
Great.
I'm working on the radio. DJing. So I'm grinding. I'm still grinding, but I'm grinding
in another way.
Legally.
Hustling the right way.
I'm grinding legally.
Great hustle. Good hustle.
Yeah, I'm hustling. I'm still hustling, but legally.
So what would you share with the younger, you know, generation who's actually probably thinking about hustling? You know, because you and I both know these guys, they out here and they stand on the corners, and even the ones that's not on the corners, they're at home with their big brother doing things, so they thinking in their mind, well, you know what, I might be next. I'm going to sit out there and I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to go try this out. I'm going to try to make some money.
When I was hustling now has been changed so much, because nowadays these younger guys that's hustling, they don't even care who they serve. Back then, we didn't serve nobody that we didn't know. Now you can't even pull up on a corner, or they run into your cars, whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. They run up to you. But whatever you do, you're going to get caught. Sooner or later, you will get caught. You may have that stretch, may not get caught tomorrow, may not get caught a year from now, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. Or your friend that you think is your friend gonna get tired of you getting all the money, and they gonna tell on you, and you're gonna be sitting right in jail, and they're gonna be there in the courtroom to point you out.
Wow.
That's true.
How do you feel about that, Mr. War?
I mean, everything you're saying is true. That's his account.
Tell us a little bit about you, Mr. War. You know, you in that lifestyle. You were, you know, in that lifestyle before, and
well,
you know,
you know, for the most part, a lot of us grew up kind of impoverished. My mother, she was a heroin addict. When I was 5 years old, she gave me to my godparents to raise me, who were two lesbians. So, you know, I know that was kind of, you know, odd there. You know, it's just being raised by two lesbians, and it was kind of like upper class. But I kind of wanted to be with my mom. So when I got to when I was a teenager, I moved back with my mother. My mother by then had not been on heroin anymore, but she was living a drug life. And I actually learned how to hustle, you know, through my mom. Because living in the projects, everybody had a hustle. You had the beer lady, the candy lady, you know, the
frozen cup lady.
Yeah, everybody. It was a lady. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the projects, most were women who had, you know, the houses, you know, they were on Section A. So everybody had, like I said, a hustle. My mother, she used to sell dinners at night. My mother went to the next step. She sold dinners, coke, heroin, hash.
Dinners at night and other stuff in
there. You go. So hash.
But that was her way of making money.
Back in D.C., she, back, because that's where I'm from. Back then, and that's what she sold. Like I said, hash, heroin, coke, powder, rock, beer, weed, you name it. She sold it out of the house. And I never forget the first time that they raided our house. I was trying to take the charge for my mother, but she wouldn't let me. They raided our house and everything. But, back then, it was like, you come a product of your area, your surroundings, for what you see. And back then, you saw people getting on the grind, people were struggling, trying to make it. And this hustling back in the 80s era, if you hustle back in that era and you still alive and not in jail or doing life, you came through a long way. Because a lot of my friends, the people, associates, people I knew back in that era hustling back then, either dead or they got life in prison, or they strung out somewhere off their own supply. So I thank God that I made it through that era selling that, and I still have my life and my freedom right now today. But you know, back in the era, hustling was almost like a rite of passage. It was like, you know, it's sad to say, but that's how it was. You know, the glam, you know, this, you know, the women, the money, just being able to just go and come as you please and just do what you want to do, you know, and buy what you want to buy. And
so can I say something? So does it first off like, you know, I'm doing this because I don't have it, and I need to help my family, and I need to help myself, and then does it turn into, now I got it, I have all this, now I can buy a car, and it get fancy. So it starts off like, but then it get fancy after a while. Now you're buying the cars and the big houses and spending so much money, but in the beginning it's like, I'm doing this to help my family or to help my mom. Does it?
Everybody's introduction into that lifestyle is different. Some people who started out just wanted the fame, you know, the glory, just to, you know, just have some type of street cred or recognition, because you got a lot of people that, you know, nobody really, respect them like that. They want to have respect, so they learn how to hustle, so they got respect, they got money, they got jewelry, they got, you know, money, you know, beats power, you know,
right.
A false sense of power anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it gives you also hustling gives you a false sense of just recognition too, and as a man, because, you know, when I went away too, like he was saying, you know, Sharon was saying, which is true. You're gonna pay the piper. There's always a piper fee when you living, you know, life wrong. You're gonna pay that piper either today or tomorrow. But I never forget when I did my Fed bid when I was locked up. My first check that I got in the Feds, I was making like 12 cents an hour. My first check that I got was $15. And I never forget that I had a tear in my eye when I got that first check in the federal prison for like $15 for the whole month. And I felt so good about that check because I felt like I earned it as, right, you know, a man. And even though I worked in there, I worked my butt off. I was a welder in there. I learned the trade, you know, and I just felt like that's the only time that I earned some money that it like meant something to me, opposed to being out there slinging. And, you know, and slinging and, you know, and selling that, doing that lifestyle, it just, like I said, you know, that meant more to me. And I never thought I'd feel that way, but, it really tripped me out. But
it's amazing you say it meant more to you, because I'm sure you was making way more money than that out the street. So that little bit, it's almost like some people say, oh, God, what is this? I got more of this when I was out. What is this? But you looked at it as if I earned this one. This was right. Different.
Because, I mean, I was grossing like 10 a day or sometimes more, you know, that lifestyle. You know, I was kind of out there. When I came to Baltimore, I actually came to Baltimore to hustle. That was my whole goal, to come up here. You know, I wasn't coming for anything else, because I had people from Baltimore coming down to D.C. buying my drugs. So, you know, one guy was like, man, you know, you need to come up to Baltimore. You know, you make more money. So when I came up here, and I got, you know, put on with the strips in the area, and I'm a hustler by nature, so I can just go in the scope of area out and know how to, you know, just, you know, put what I got to do, you know, down so I can get some money, you know, and it didn't take me like overnight to set a whole crew up and, you know, start getting paper. But, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I missed the money. But then I think back to when I was incarcerated, I thought of all the people who I helped, and also all the people that I hurt through my lifestyle, because I'm talking about the people who I didn't go take and make nobody to get high, but I contributed to the demise of their lives, and maybe their children's lives and everything else and stuff, because they was out there strung out, and I'm seeing my sisters and my brothers and my sisters selling their bodies, and you know, the brothers, you know, as a result of my lifestyle, you know, contributed to people breaking in people's houses, people getting robbed. You know, a lot of the women out there contributing to the HIV, because when the women are there, they you know, they getting high and they, you know, doing what they got to do to get some crack or whatever, some heroin, especially when they on their heroin, because they got to do whatever they got to do to get that high, because they got to have that over in them every day. So that means they're gonna do whatever. So they ain't gonna be protected. So then you contributing to AIDS in an indirect way. You contributing to all of that, you know, because of you out there slinging, trying to get paper. You know, you're not seeing the effects of your lifestyle, how it affect a lot of people around you, your families and everything. You know, a lot of destroying a lot of, you know, your families and your neighborhood and everything from being out there. And it's just a, you know, it just contributes to a lot of that you don't really think about at the time, because you're thinking about you trying to get some money, you trying to survive, you know. And then what I did learn is the same skills that's in that lifestyle, you can use that to do something positive, you know. Marketing, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's management. It's a lot of that, and just being an entrepreneur the right way, and learning how to do that you can transfer that into the, you know, to the right lifestyle and survive.
Car salesman.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do now. You know, I sell. Yeah, I sell.
So you gonna sell something in life?
I sell myself, because, you know, I've always been a people person.
Hello, sister. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but Tanya's in the building, looking fine as ever. Hey, girl, that's my sister. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a heavy life.
Yeah, I mean, it gets old. I mean, and everybody gets, you know, tired of things in their own time. It may take a person one time to get locked up and say, man, this ain't for me, I can't do it no more. And it may take that person the third time, or that person the fifth time, and say, hey, this ain't for me.
How long did it take you? What was it for you? What brought you to that level right there? Said, you know what, this is it for me. I ain't going back no more. This is it.
I felt that way before I went in. I was having dreams at night about sirens. I know that sounds crazy. I was having dreams about police sirens and stuff. And I said, at the time that I went in, the woman that I was with, she was pregnant. And one day I was riding in the car and I just looked over at her, and I was like, man, I looked at her and I looked at my daughter, and I was thinking about my son, and I was like, man, what happens to me if I go to jail, living this lifestyle? What happens? You know, what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to my son? What's going to happen to my daughter? What's going to happen? And I just had like an epiphany, you know. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I got to stop this. You know, I was like, Lord, please just show me the right thing to do, to show me the way. And this, because I said that his way, or show me the way, it wasn't my way. I ain't want to be there. I ain't want to go to jail. But, you know, what's his will is his will, and he do things his way. So his way was laying me down for a minute to get my head on straight, so when I came home I could have myself together. And you know, he done put me to, I'm at a test now every day, you know. And
excuse me, sir, we have a question.
One of the videos said, how do you keep your children from making your mistakes?
When I answer that. Well, I mean, not solely, but they can, you know, you can answer that too. Well, what I did was when I was in there, I told, you know, your host to bring my son to see me, and I wanted him to see me in jail. And, you know, I didn't want to hide anything from him. I just wanted him to see, because I want him to see the results of what that lifestyle brings. And
excuse me, can I say something? Because me as a mother, I always covered it up. I always say, he's in college, he's gone away. You know, you always say I make a bad situation good. And I would say, oh, he's gone away, he's in college. So I never ever came out and said, oh, you know, your dad, you know, is in jail. You know, I always covered you. I had your back. Had your back, you know, yeah. So that was your way, I guess. You know, once you asked me to bring him to, you know, the jail to see you, that was your way of telling him, I guess, the truth, and then he learned. Yeah, because
you can't hide, you know, your child from the streets. Raise a lot of our children, you know, because you can do all you want in the house, but when they get out them doors, the streets is gonna raise, and they're gonna see what's the real world is, what's happening out there. So you can't. You know, you can't keep that from them, so you gotta let them know what's going on. So I wanted him to actually see this what it looks like. This what happens when you're out there slinging drugs. When I was telling him that I was telling him I was actually selling cars then, but I wasn't. But and I told him, I said, Dre, you see all these people around here? You know, they're not all in here for selling drugs, but then here these are the consequences of their actions. And you know, when you make decisions and when you sell drugs or whatever you do that's unlawful, these are the consequences. This is the real world, and I don't want this to happen to you. You know.
Can I ask our son something? Whoa. I want to ask our son something. You know anything about this life? You know, have you ever sold drugs before?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
You did?
Ah! Should we get about now or later? Bam! What do we do? Do we get about now or do we get about later? You first, me second, way. You know. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, one thing for sure, two things for certain, you guys. This is new to us. So with the reactions you are seeing is definitely real because we didn't know. But go on.
Punish afterwards. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You put me in timeout for about a couple of years. I don't know how you know.
And what brought you to that point? Because Lord knows, I mean, we try our best.
I was following. That's what it was. It was just about like I came around this neighborhood. I was like the little pretty boy, and I was like the little pretty boy, whatever. But the girls like the hustlers and or the guys that was doing stuff bad, whatever. And at the time, whatever, I just wanted more girls, whatever, and that's what they liked, whatever. So that's why I did it, just to get them and follow. When I thought that when I did that, it was gonna make guys intimidated by me or anything like that, whatever. But it didn't. But the reason why I knew I needed to stop whatever because when the guy he wanted me to do whatever, I guess it was called like put in work whatever, and you had to do little things whatever. So you know what I mean, like just so they could trust you whatever. And I did a little something to what I mean, like had to rob somebody whatever, and I felt it when. Right when he was robbing the guy, whatever, he, you know what I mean, I ain't saying no names, whatever, but when he was robbing the guy, whatever, he pulled the trigger back on him and everything, whatever. And then, I ain't really care at the point, whatever, but then, after that, like a couple of months, that's when you had just brought me a phone or whatever, and I got robbed. And this time, whatever, two guys put two guns in my head and pulled two triggers back on me, whatever, man. I mean, it hurted me, whatever, but then it made me think about, what I did, till I got whatever. The thing, it really hurts because the guy, we waited for him to get off of work. You know what I mean? I guess he just must have had got whatever he just must have had got. And it wasn't right for us to go take what he just worked for. You know what I mean? And me, when you brought me that phone, I was so happy. Like, I was real happy and everything, whatever, and when he took it, I felt violated and stuff like that, whatever. I was so mad, but then I had to think, well, my homeboy made me think about it, like, well, man, what you did, whatever. And, I thought about it, and I felt like I deserved, I was mad, but I felt like I deserved it at the same time, whatever, because of what I did, whatever. But I did it just to follow, whatever. But I ain't do it for that long. I never, got caught nothing like that, because it wasn't for that long. I was almost, there was one incident where, like, about when the cop, pulled up, whatever. And he said I was swinging my arm, whatever. And I never told you, whatever, but I did have it in my hand. I did hurt me, swung, whatever. And he came up to me, whatever, and, say these cops, I don't care about what they say to you or anything or whatever. So I knew that at that time, whatever, like, things like that wasn't for me. Like, I'm not that type of person that can just go do things to people, and not care about it. I knew it wasn't for me, and I could stop following and do my own thing. And when I did my own thing, I had people start following me, whatever, because I really... like I really wasn't doing no more, whatever, and I ain't really care about no more, whatever, because it just wasn't, like, certain things just ain't for everybody, whatever, and that just wasn't for me. I wasn't a smoker, sitting around smoking all day, whatever. I wasn't, it was just not my lifestyle, whatever, and I got to a point where I didn't care if I ain't had the girls or the fame from the guys, nothing like that, whatever. I just ain't care no more, whatever, and me not caring made the next person not care, and they would still follow me, so I was still good, even though when I stopped or whatever. But I never did it for that long, whatever, because it just wasn't me. I really wasn't into it.
Well, I need to catch my breath. Wow.
I don't really tell people because I don't brag about it, because I don't feel like, something to brag about.
And it's not that you're bragging, you're actually sharing this with people for the next young little you
Mm-hmm.
who may think that it's okay to go out there and try that same thing.
That guy and ask him, like, so I can go back to San Jose, whatever. But I don't want to. I'm out here every day looking for a job. I don't want to go back to that, whatever. Sometimes it takes people to get like 20-something years old or 30 to realize that, whatever.
Right.
But I'm still young. It wasn't for me. Not because I'm no punk or nothing like that, whatever. But it just wasn't for me. It's not my thing for. I did it just to follow whatever, and I realized me following whatever, bad. I ain't really think no bad things can happen to me. And then I guess God showed me, like, you can get right to had a gun in your head too, and take what was yours. Because I was real mad. Like I was so mad.
It's.
Thank you, Lord, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got something from it and you didn't get killed. I didn't know you did any of this. I didn't.
Me neither. The amazing thing is that what I want to throw out there to the parents is I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little choked up because I never heard this before, and this is new to me, and this is my baby, and y'all moms know how it feel when it's your baby, and I am one to think that my kids I wouldn't say wouldn't do anything, but me, not my child. He don't have no reason to. He got a mom that works. I have my own business. I do my thing. He got a dad that works and does his thing. So not my child. I'm wondering. I'm one of those mothers that do that. So I always feel like, well, no, my child wouldn't do that. Why would he have a reason to? I'll get him what he need. If he asks me, as long as he's doing good in school, doing what he got to do around the home, I'll get him basically what he needs. So he wouldn't do that. So I'm shocked. I am. But then we all have our little walk, and I guess that's something that you had to learn. I couldn't teach you that it's a bad thing because you ain't gonna listen to me. You gotta get out there and figure it out for yourself. We done told you several times, your dad has stories, and I'm sure you've heard other people's stories. So no matter what, you had to, I guess, try this out for yourself. It's just that you're my baby, and I just can't believe you don't dealt with stuff I never would have thought you even dealt with yet. That make me a little sad.
I mean, it was good the way for me, because I like around here, everybody know me around here, like everybody. But the only thing that stays on your mind is the thing that you did. Well, it wasn't like I did to other people. It was just that one person, whatever. I knew after that it wasn't for me, whatever. And when I did stop, whatever, I guess goes around comes around. So just because I stopped, that doesn't mean it still ain't gonna happen to you, whatever. So it happened to me, whatever. But
right.
I don't mean.
Would you ever do it again?
No.
Don't just say it for us,
No, not that. I want to do it again, whatever, because I want Lord, my son to see that, whatever, or it's just not for me. Like,
right.
It's just I can't. I want to do it. It's just not for me. It's something I just can't do. Whatever.
Was it hard for you to tell that person that you were, I guess, working for, that you no longer could do this, and it just,
No, because actually the person, he told me to stop.
Really?
The person told me to stop. He looked at me, whatever, and he wanted me to do something, whatever, and I just looked at him, and I wasn't scared of him or nothing like that, whatever, but I knew the type of guy he was, that he don't have no problem doing what he got to do, whatever, because he was all about money, you know what I mean, so he had no problem doing you with another guy, for his money, whatever, like, he had no problem with that, but he just looked at me, whatever, and he stopped me, like, and to this day, he called me Dreads or whatever, but he stopped me, whatever.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
But he make, a lot of guys are around here, that do a little thing, whatever. They look up to him, whatever, but, he stopped me, whatever. So I guess if it wasn't, I'm not even gonna say if it wasn't him, because I wanted to stop, period. But I knew that when he asked me, I would have to do it, whatever, because I knew that, he ain't, that's that vibe I got from him, that he ain't really care. Like, I can be gone any day now, whatever. Not saying I'm no punk, whatever, like I'm scared of him or nothing, but, when you got them type of people that don't really care, what I mean? Me, I still got, I still had love at home and everything, whatever like that, whatever. They didn't have their mother or father or, been abused or anything like that. I never been that way, whatever. So I can't come out like, well, yeah, I'm this type of, gangster or, I couldn't come off like that, whatever. I ain't no punk at the end of the day, whatever, but I'm not that way, It's not me. So I'm not even going to pretend like it's me, whatever.
Right.
But, hey, people could have called what they wanted. I stopped. You can call me, punk anyway. But, because tell me what you want, whatever. But I'm still here looking for a
man.
job.
Call you going to manhood. I call that being mature. That's what I call that. Ain't no punk.
Lord Dre DeVille want to know, how do you keep your child from making your mistake, Lord Dre? That's your question, Dre.
Oh,
He's coming.
oh.
I guess, you can't really, people gonna do what they want, you know what I mean? Like, I can tell them how, like, what happened, it come back to you, whatever. Like, parents can talk all day for their child, whatever, and tell them everything, whatever, but they really gotta go out there and see it. And I guess, like, because not every kid listens to their parent. They still want to go out and do them, and, they still want to have girls and, stuff like that, whatever. So I can't really make them, I can't keep them in the house, whatever, but, what I would do is tell them that, what's good, what's the good and the bad, whatever. But once he go out there, and he see for himself that it's not him, then he'll know for real, because he always gonna have love at home. And once you got that, that it's not for you, It's not fun. I don't think you can stop anybody from doing anything. They gonna do what they want. They gotta see for themselves that they don't know, they don't want it. But he can't say I ain't
So
telling.
when we talking, we just talking for nothing. We might as well just shut up and let you experience it, huh?
No, not that. It's just that how kids think their parents know everything.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
I would say it's more so what you instilled your mother, you, Terrell, and the parents. What you instilled in your son is what he found in himself out there. So a lot of times peer pressure, they follow behind what's going on around them because they want to fit in. But once what happened to him the way it did, it came back to his memory as to what you guys instilled in him as to the right and wrong. But sometimes they have to live it themselves to see it for themselves that is not for them. But what you instilled in him as to what changed his mind, really, as to what made him realize that it wasn't him, because it wasn't something that was familiar to. It was familiar to him seeing other people do it, but it wasn't familiar to you guys instilling that in him.
Right.
So that's what changed his mind.
Okay.
And with that being said, when his son grow up, his son gonna see it follow down through him. By him telling his son that, of course, peer pressure in school, they're gonna taste it, but realize as to it's not for them.
Right.
So you did the right thing, and that's why he is here today.
Thank you.
That is a big reason.
Thank you.
I felt like I had love at home, whatever. So most guys when I talk to them, they don't have no love, whatever. So they don't care about the next person because they don't really care about themselves. But I love me, whatever, because y'all tell me y'all love me a lot, whatever. So like if I had no love at home, I probably still would have been doing what I was doing, whatever. I really didn't care. I guess that was it.
Well, I love you, man.
I sure do. I love you too. Wow. Guess the show is great after all. It brings up things. It gives us a chance, I guess, to talk about things that we might wouldn't have gotten to.
I think that's a lot of fathers' fear. You can't tell me a guy out there living that lifestyle is not concerned about.
On the show.
Not concerned about about their son being out there in the game, or their daughter dating a guy that's out there in the game, because we know what that game brings. It brings a lot of women, and there's not a hustler out there.
We have a caller. Why is it so loud? Baltimore's Real Talk.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi.
This is Black. It's Black. What's up? It's your brother.
Hello, my brother. How are you? Hello? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
We need to teach kids how to be leaders, because that's where it comes from. You teach your kid how to be a leader, and not a, and they would make the path.
Right.
Can you turn your? Do what? He has to do what? Take your phone off the speakerphone for me, Chant. Black, please, and get on regular phone because we're not hearing you clearly. And repeat what you just said.
I said, first of all, I'm not on speakerphone, but I said, first of all, we men have to tell kids how to be leaders.
Right.
Right.
That's
So
right.
they won't follow. So they won't have the peer pressure of wanting somebody else to do, because you teach them how to be a leader and what role they take and start.
That's true.
But that's what happened.
That's true. You're right.
That's basically what happened. He
Right.
realized that he was taught to
You're
be
right.
a leader.
So that's the start right there of making sure that our kids don't make the same mistakes we make. It's about teaching them how to be a leader, and also not teaching them because we want them so much better than we did. We don't want them to have hustle. That ain't what I want for my kids.
That's right.
I don't care. So I don't want them to have to do none of the grimy things we have done in our life, because we want so much more for our kids. And that's what we gotta teach them. That's make us start.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You know, I don't know what's going on with our phone. We're hearing you, and it's almost like it's breaking up, almost like you're on a cell phone or something.
It's like the area that he's
But I do hear you. I hope our viewers and everyone else is getting it.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Now we hear you clearly now. You know, you have sons yourself, you know, too. How do you as a parent sit there and hear something you wouldn't have never thought? You know what I'm saying? How do you? Because see, we can say you're right. We do have to teach our kids to be leaders, and we you know, all of us as parents, we do our best to do that. But what happens when they do just stray away anyway and do what they want to do?
But the thing is, I mean, what they want to do for adults.
Right.
Like I said, I mean, certain people in them that when they think about doing something, will think about it, take a second to tell them on it. Because so much in tune, they know that they're wrong. And they don't make some mistakes. A lot of times they mistake for themselves. It starts from the leader and not a force. For somebody telling you something really with point, you got the ability, and you're just like, no, I ain't.
You know what? Excuse me, babe. We are not hearing hardly nothing you're saying. It's just like breaking up. I don't know if it's your phone. Is it mine? Are you on your home phone?
I'm on a home phone, yes. What I'll do is I'll like my message and get out of it.
Okay, we'll deliver it because we're not hearing you. You're breaking up. I don't know what's going on with our phone thing. I thought we were okay, but don't worry. We'll still get the message across loud and clear. Thank you for calling. I'm very sorry about the phone thing. I will definitely have this checked out because I think your message is very, very a great message to get across. So,
Exactly. Because I have sons, and one thing I do is I don't try to teach my sons to come up the way I came up. I try to teach them too much. Like, I don't
we can't do it. Babe, we can't hear you, babe. It's back doing it. 1 minute it gives us a clear, and the next minute it's going back to breaking up. Just go ahead and type it to us, and we'll make sure we get your point across. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what's going on with our phone. It did so well last week on the show. So I don't know, but I do know what he was trying to get across, and basically is about teaching our kids to be leaders, and I guess it's all in the way we raised them as well. So even though my son shocked and surprised me tonight, and he did really,
Me too.
I'm very glad that he still has what we have given him, and thank you, Tanya, for that point. You know,
I think we as parents, we don't talk to our kids about drugs as much as we should, because like you said, you would never believe, not my child. Well, that's what we always say, not my child, until we do find out it's our child or our children that's out there doing something that they ain't supposed to be doing. You know, it's hard. You can talk to a child, you can talk to anybody, and you can, like you were saying, you give them everything you want. You can give a child everything they want, but it's that outside world. It's that outside world. You could give them love, you could give them everything, because a lot of people out there that's selling drugs have all those things at home. They have money at home. Some people do it just for that rush. Some people do it just to have that attention. Some people love that attention of, you know, that fast money. Some people, you got people that go to work and sell drugs. So, you know, it's just not about the trying to get the money because you got to do this, but you got some out there that's struggling that don't have a choice but to sell drugs, where the system then set them up and knock them down so much that's the only thing they can do.
And then sometimes too, it seems like when y'all do, you know, get incarcerated, and then you come home and you have such a hard time trying to find jobs. You know, you hear people, I guess, going through that, and you know, for some, it make them go back to the streets.
Oh yeah, believe me, I was tempted several times. Several times since I've been home, I was tempted to go out there and just say, you know what,
make sure you read
it.
the comments.
Just say forget it and go out there and do it all over again. But always in my mind, I know I got kids, and it will hurt my children to see me go back to jail. So that keeps me going. That keeps me on the grind the right way instead of going out there and getting that fast dollar.
Yeah.
And that's true. You know, everybody gets into that lifestyle for different reasons. You know, like you said, sometimes it's a fame and glory. Sometimes it's because you're in a struggle, and it's not that that's all you know. That's all you can do. That's all you know how to do. It's always saying if you knew better, you do better. And sometimes, like I said, when you're a product of your environment, and all you've seen is one way of surviving, then you become accustomed to surviving that way, and then that becomes your comfort zone. And you know what's crazy is I was so scared of going looking for it. When I came home from prison and looking for a job, I was more nervous and scared of being turned down for employment than I was going to New York back in the day and having keys coming down the New Jersey Turnpike, and in fear of getting pulled over from the police, or or getting killed. That didn't bother me because that lifestyle became my comfort zone. I did that for so long that anything outside my comfort zone I was scared of. So actually living life the right way and getting a job wasn't my comfort zone. I was scared of that. My comfort zone was that rush, like you were saying, bringing some drugs back, put it on the block and get paid. I was all right with that. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you know, that became my comfort zone. And you know, and then as hustlers, it's what we teach our daughters, you know. And you wonder why some of the young ladies out there now are on hustlers and on older men who are making money. A lot of them are older men anyway because their fathers are not there in their life. And I talked about that before, when they're growing up in a single parent home, when the father's not around. Us dads are either in jail from living that lifestyle, or just not there at all because we just not good dads, But then we teach our our daughters how to be what they see is dad buying them this, dad buying them that, dad out there. So that teaches them how to go out there and just deal with guys who are hustlers, not real men who work hard every day. Just trying to provide for their family the right way, and it's that's what we teach our daughters. And they grew up being on hustlers, and they're being going on hustler from hustler.
Excuse me, Andre, can I cut you off? Do you have a viewer?
Yeah, the viewer wants you to know, although you teach them, that don't mean they always follow. So
Sure.
as parents, you can't beat yourself up when you have done your job. They had to find the same as you did. You have done a wonderful job.
Right. That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that's true. And and I'm gonna say this right here with my son. I know I wasn't the best example to my son, especially living that lifestyle. And I never had a father in my life. My father, I met him 4 times in my life. The third time that I met him, he asked me for some money. And I didn't have the guidance or the love as a dad around me to actually know what my role until has been, a father. And I'm not making no excuses for me being an absentee dad and being incarcerated and stuff. Even when I'm home now, I don't get a chance to spend the quality time with my son like I would desire to because of the occupation that I have and everything else, and I'm not making any excuses for that. But I mean, I'm proud of my son. I love my son. He's has his own way of of understanding certain things. And then maybe separate from my way, but he is old man, and he's evolving into his own man. And I hope if some of the things that we sit and discuss, and you know, that if he gets one thing out of something I'm trying to give him, and I'm okay with that, you know, because I don't want him to be me. I just, you know, try to, anything I give him, I have his best interest, and I love him. I know he being out there in that world, and he's going to be distracted by so many things that, you know, I hope he just understand that he has to deal with the consequences behind anything that he does, if nothing else. What you can do, whatever you want to do in life, just be able to deal with the consequences. You can handle that.
As Sean would say, consequences.
Yeah.
Sean's favorite thing.
You know, I mean,
Intelligent Tia wants you to know it's okay to
Who said that?
Intelligent Tia.
Okay. Okay.
but I would have my life no other way. I had to live all over again. You know, that lifestyle is which helped mold me and to get me where I'm at today. You know.
Do you or Mr. Sherman regret doing any of that?
Well, I don't regret. I just wish I could have done things differently. You know, it opened my eyes. It made me a better person. It showed me. I take it as everything is done for a reason. There's a reason for everything. That's the way I look at my life now. Everything is done for a reason. My life is already written. I'm just playing a part. That part of my life, that chapter, that's a chapter. It's over with. It's done with. It was done for a reason. Maybe to teach me something, maybe to save my life. I don't know what the reason may be. It may come to me later on down the line. But I took from that and I learned from that and showed me what I need to do things right. You know, I guess it also showed me how to raise my child or to look out for my children. You know, but no matter what we do, we can look out for our children and do for our children. But our children may make mistakes and they may want to learn on their own. You can be the number one parent and give your child everything and teach your child everything. But we all got our own mind and we got to make our own choices and make mistakes in life.
A lot of our life is also, it's not just for us. And a lot of times we need to realize that we're not here for us, we're here for others. And what it is, we are examples of what people should be and should not be. So when you went to jail, you was an example of what you didn't want your son to be. And he learned that by going out there testing it, and he realized that, you know what, I know how my dad ended up. I don't want to end up like that. And then at the same time, you doing that, you turned it around and showed him what he could have and what he could be by becoming a better man that you are.
Okay.
So that is another thing as to what you instilled in your children as well.
Okay.
We live by example. And the first thing you did tell him was that he had a choice to do right or wrong. And he chose to do right.
And that's great, you know, for yourself and us.
You're right. And you know, and you're right. And the piper, like we talked about too, sometimes you don't be the one who pay that piper. He gonna get paid one way or another. And the reason I'm saying that is because my sister had someone, it was one of her bridesmaids, and I'm trying to make this long story short. The bridesmaid's mom was a hustler. Guy came in to rob the mother. The mother wasn't home. The daughter was. So he shot the daughter in the head, killed the daughter, and her other daughter escaped and got out the window. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say is, hustlers out there, sometimes the consequence is not always you getting killed, mm-hmm. or you going to jail. Mm-hmm. The consequences behind your actions can, like, pour into your family. Mm-hmm. Like me, they come in here looking for me. My son got dreads, I got dreads. We got the same name. Kill him. Mm-hmm. You know, keep looking for me. Got the wrong dread just because of the lifestyle. Or vice versa. Him, mm-hmm. being at night, we got dreads. Like I said, both named Dre. Be late at night, be one looking for him, kill me. You know, or something. Or like when I come from, it was guys I mean, and I know that every city got they go hard, you know, stick up boys and stuff. Where I come from, they would snatch chandelier up and say, call him, tell that clown, come on home and shit, and we're gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of hustlers, the money is in the two places. They ain't gonna never be in the bank because we ain't living life right. You know, so it's either gonna be at your mother house or your girl house. Your mother, or that's where the money gonna be majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? So the girl a lot of times know where that money is. She know all about your business. Your baby mother know majority of the time know all about what's going on. So where I come from, they snatch baby mother up, have baby mother call you up, have you come home and kill all of y'all. You know, so what I'm trying to say is that Piper and the consequences behind your actions, you know, don't necessarily have to come to you. Mm-hmm. It could come to your family, your loved ones, your mother. You know, they taking their money up in your mother house. They're going in there and kill your mother. You know, snatch your girl, kill your girl. You know, or your son or your daughter. You know, and that's just comes with that. But you don't think about it at the time because you just getting it in, you getting money. You know, and that's all that matters.
If you don't want to know some of the people that you have helped in the past, can you call on them today?
A lot. That's to me.
I mean, it's
No.
a question out there, period.
No.
What somebody fun live? Are they simply? I guess they're saying living that lifestyle that you've given money to and help. You saying in that sense? I can, but a lot of them that I give money to are still in the struggle themselves. But
you can't call them.
I can't. I mean, they can't. I was helping them then. They ain't, you know, they ain't in a position to really help me now. But you know, I mean, people they're gonna be for you when you're up, and you know, you when you're on top, everybody want to be your friend. Mm-hmm. You know, you got the cars, you got the money. You know, everybody want to be your friend. You know, but when you're down, nobody ain't gonna. That's when you find out who really got you.
Yep.
You know, and.
Well, I had you when you was down. I just thought that maybe when you came home,
Right,
you would have my
right,
back. You know,
right.
start paying me off what you
Yes.
owe me for taking home when you weren't
I
here.
got you a pack of cigarettes tonight. You know, but
Also, when you look back on it, was any of it worth it? That's another question that just came through.
Nah, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
And a lot of times where you've been, you don't want to go back there because it's just like a rope. You keep having yourself attached to it, you can be drawn back. It's like a pack of cigarettes. If you know you're addicted to cigarettes, why would you go around people that's smoking so you can be tempted to go back and smoke again?
Right.
So you can go back and help those people, but you got to be strong enough when you do go back that you don't be drawn back in.
right. That's true. That's true.
So all three of y'all strong, you know, black men. Can y'all be drawn back in?
Oh, no. You can't draw me back.
Like I said, I was.
You
I
took
was
a heavy
through-
breathe when you said that, War.
No, I mean, it's because I've been tempted a lot since I've been home. In prison, that's where you meet your connects. So I met more guys in prison that I could have just hooked up with on home than I did on the street, you know. And I met some intellectuals too, people who were doing things the right way, you know. But it's
I just want to see.
It boils down to you have to be tired. You have to want something different, and I wanted something different before I went in. I was praying. I was like, Lord, like I told you, I said, please, you know, I'm tired of doing this. You know, show me something different. He said, okay, you gonna get this bit. So I'm like, I ain't with it like that. But I did. I prayed on that, and you got to watch what you pray for. But you know, it's. I ain't gonna lie. I miss the money. I do. You know, I'd be a fool to say I didn't, but
So do I.
hey.
Making all that money that you were making before you got locked up, and you said when you was working when you was incarcerated, your check was only $15. How did you make that last a whole month when you were so used to making so much more?
Well, for one, I was in prison, and in there you really don't need too much to survive on. You get commissary, you just need
Good hustle.
Yeah, and I hustled in there.
Yeah,
see, I know how to, you know, I know how to write, and you know, in there, you know, it's a lot of guys who are really illiterate, and they need someone to write letters. I used to write letters for guys, and hell, you know, I started to feel like I was personally connected with their women because I write letters for them, for their girl, and I feel like I really knew the girl, you know. And then when the girls come sit in the visiting room, they looking all crazy because letters that was being written in them, the guy don't know anything about what's going on. I tell him, you need to read what I just wrote. Nah, this said it.
But they can't read it.
You know, and right, true.
I done drew a lot and wrote a lot of letters, and you could commissary is always there. Yeah. It always comes. If you got to hustle, if you hustle on the street, you can hustle in jail.
And that's the thing, right? Either you got everybody had a little hustle. Everybody, you got guys that made cards, guys that, you know, like Sharon, he draws real good, you know, and me, I wrote poems. I that's what I did. I wrote poems. I made cards too. And guys cook.
Flip it.
Right. Guys cook. Guys iron. You got, you know, got to do hair. You know, this started in prison. Okay. And that's I just ain't never cut it. But
so how y'all get your hand done? You know.
You know,
the guy do it?
Gate, yeah, it ain't no.
You sit between his legs.
Gate, no, shut up.
You know what we pray, we open our leg up, you know.
Everybody ain't dead there. You got some go hard dudes. They just been down bitten for like 15, 20 years, and they had to learn some type of hustle, you know, to survive. They could see family and friends. They fall off after about 6 months. You know, it look all good. You can always, we was in there, I always tell the guy that just came in, he was fresh. You get a mail every day, just bam. You know, Smith, mail call, after 6 months, I ain't heard Smith's name. Business fall off, all that. You know,
they stopped sending me letters.
Start the love, so all that.
When I went to jail, when I went to jail for selling drugs, I was Drake age. And I thought I was going to one jail because my brother was there, and they sent me to another jail. They sent me in a maximum security jail. And I had 8 years. I was young with 8 years. Don't know how I'm going to do 8 years. And I cried. Well, not cried, but I'm crying about the time, talking about the time over and over and over and over. That's what I mean by crying. That's what I mean by crying. I'm like, and it took for this old guy that I remember, I was in a cell with him. And he had life. They had me in a cell with somebody with life. And I'm crying about time. And he got pissed off. He was like, look, you going home one day. I'm not. You just know what you got to do to stay out there. And, you know, I looked at him as more as a mentor, because he mentored me in that time, showed me the ropes about jail, because this is my first time in. He showed me the ropes about jail and what I need to do to get out and how I could hustle while I was in there. So, you know, I took what I learned on the street hustling and took it to jail and hustled another way.
Right. That was good.
Jay, well, it's a good thing you didn't make it to that point, of going to jail, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you never went to jail and your brother went and got you out, did you? I mean, come on, tell us all. You know, you done told us this far. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and real talk.
Yeah, you go to jail one time when y'all, you know.
Yeah, that was all the time. I mean, really, was it? Shit, we don't know. You know, I mean, gosh, just go ahead and tell us all. That was it. So what are you doing now, Andre, to make sure that you don't go down that road again, or even think of that path again? What are you doing differently?
I'm out, you know, like I said, looking for a job every day. I don't know, like, you know, like, now, like, the hustling thing is not really in no more anyway. Like, you know, like, even now, like, the gang thing not even in no more. Like, you barely even see that many gang members. Like, everybody trying to, you know, do something with their life. Ain't nobody really trying to sit around the corner. And for the ones that sit around the corner, it's so many people that sell the same drug that you not really making that much money off of it anyway, because there's so many people that do it, you know what I mean? So it's not, everybody ain't really doing whatever, but I'm
God, did he just say you're probably not even making that much money, huh?
You're not, though, because there's too many people out there doing whatever, but even if you was making a killing out of it,
he knows so much.
Snitching out there,
okay.
Making money anyway.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad to hear that.
They don't need it no more. The hustling didn't stop. There ain't too many hustlers, real hustlers now there no more, because the state then took over with the Met. So
the feds took over with the
they rather take the Met and forget about the drugs. So, you know,
right,
drug thing is dying out, and it's a good thing.
Right, because when you get your grown, you can get your adulthood on, as actually becoming an adult, He ain't got time for that no more. Really, that really plays out. You know, and another thing, I met some females when I was out there. I'm trying to make this quick. That I had a couple of them said, we engaged in the conversation, and she said, well, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm out there. I'm brown. I'm out there. Out there. Yeah, come out there. I'm doing me. Well, I don't deal with guys that hustle. I ain't trying to be out there like that. I ain't trying to be, caught up with something happening to you. Because what women don't understand is when you dealing with a guy that's a hustler, you a hustler too. Don't think it's just everything happening is gonna fall down on you, because you could be that one that gets snatched up. I'm telling you about. Or you can go down and get a conspiracy charge with the feds, mess with the Fed bit. Just because you his girl, you can dig about 5 years too, right along with him. So don't think that don't sleep on the fact that he out there getting money. You just gonna get paid and get the little nice jewelry and things, and you don't get the consequences behind that either. Because you can go down too.
Please believe us. Well, you guys, we are at the end of our show. As usual, this time goes, so fast. And since we started a little bit late, did we give him a little bit more time? Because we did start a little bit late.
It's a straight hour.
It's a straight hour. Are you tired of us, viewers? I need a cigarette. So, yeah. We are, I just want to, say thank you guys, for coming on our show and sharing this with us. Y'all didn't have to do this. This is y'all personal life that's in the past now. So to come here on the show and share that with us, I really appreciate that. I thank you guys so much. And thank you for sharing your little life with us too, Andre. I mean, wow.
Time out is in.
Yeah, we're gonna beat his butt.
Beat him!
We're gonna be a beating. So next week's topic is. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. We don't know.
Sex in the City.
The slightest idea. Somebody talking about you. The viewer, you don't know.
Well, you guys can email me at onewomanofquality, the word one, womanofquality1, number 1, at yahoo.com. You can tweet me on Twitter, hit me on Facebook, or you can call us here. And we're going to try to make the phone work this time. 410-705-3157. Baltimore's Real Talk. Wow. And when I tell you it's real talk, it's real talk. You hear me? I'm so shocked. Somebody give me a drink. Good night, you guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, different topic.
Slightest idea.